Hello and welcome to another Wednesday night live, or Wednesday day live if you're in the UK. Wednesday really early morning if you're in the US. No one's here yet, which is good. Can settle in. So today I've got Karen from KG Counselling coming on board, which will be good. It'll be good to have a chat with her. I've only spoken to her via message, but she's very inspirational and I'm sure that you will find her a lot of fun. So I'm just going to invite her. I know you're there, Karen. We're just waiting for Karen to join us. There'll be other people joining us later. Well, not joining us, but there's Karen. Hello, Karen.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
That's good, and a lovely British accent.
Yeah. And it's
so
miserable.
Miserable?
Yeah.
Because I spoke to someone the other day, I can't remember where they were. They were just outside London and they said, oh, it's actually beautiful here today.
Not today. It's not. It has been nice. It's been
Yeah.
really. The weather's been good, but you know what it's like here.
That's what England's like, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like Melbourne, 5 seasons in one day.
I know. Well, look, today it's been quite nice, but we're getting into, well, we're in autumn, but like at night it feels like winter at the moment. It's about 4 degrees Celsius. You're Celsius, aren't you? Or are you Fahrenheit?
Degrees, yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's chilly, isn't it?
It is chilly, yeah. When you get up and there's a bit of frost on your car and, yeah, going to work. Or daylight savings has changed, so now it's dark at 6 p.m., which is not very good. I preferred it when it was dark at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Because now from 6 p.m. it feels like you want to go to bed.
It does, yeah.
Well, you're getting the, so Leandra has joined us and she's saying it's sunny in Scotland and she's getting the fence done. So if anyone wants to make any comments while we're talking, we can talk about your comments. And Karen is a grief counsellor, but I think I just read on your bio that you do anxiety and a couple of other things as well.
Yeah, I've worked in addiction as well as grief.
Oh, yeah.
I've just launched my private practice, so I don't really want to focus on just grief.
Yeah.
I've taken a break from grief work at the moment, so.
Well, look, I mean, grief is something that, you know, even for a counsellor, if you specialise in it, you still need to have time away from it.
Absolutely, yeah, it's very heavy work, but rewarding work.
And have you found setting up your private practice? Because I set one up about 10 or 12 years ago, and then I went into different things. So I actually only saw a few clients there. I was actually able to hire a room per hour. Is that what you can do, or do you have to have a proper building, you know, your own office?
I'm just going to do it online for now until I can gather some clients, hopefully get some clients, and then maybe think about renting a room out and going face to face, because you can't beat face to face, can you?
No. It's the best way to go, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
Face to face. It's like when we're talking here. When I do podcasts, some people say to me, "Oh, you know, because I'm doing it on Zoom," they say, "Oh, do you need the video?" And I go, "Well, yeah, because I'm a counsellor, so I read how your face is when you're stopping talking. If you're doing any little like eye movements like that." Not necessarily like that, but you know, you can read a lot by actually seeing someone's face while you're talking to them.
Yeah, you can. And being in the same room together as well, you can't avoid anyone. I can't go like that, can I? So
Well, you can, but then I've got no idea where you are.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder for me to read if you're going to say anything or not.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So small steps, you know. I've just launched it the last couple of days, so let's see what happens. Fingers crossed.
For people who don't know who are watching, what is your, I say handle, but I don't know if it's handle on Instagram. What's your Instagram name? What's your website? Things like that so people can find you.
It's underscore KG underscore counselling.
Yep.
I've not got a website yet, but I'm on Psychology Today, and I'm just about to go on to counselling directory as well.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah. Good ways. And look, you know, I met you because I was looking at your updates and they just were so bright and happy and different. And that's what attracted me to what you were doing. And they are, even when you're talking about grief or something else, they're still happy or happy looking. So it attracts you to actually have a look.
yeah,
Naomi Dixon, counsellor, is that someone you know? Says, I prefer working face to face too. You can feel the energy in the room, but online works for some people. I mean, yes, there is definitely energy in the room, isn't there?
yeah, definitely. And you, like you said, you can pick up on body language, looks. You can feel the emotions, even breathing. I think you can pick up
Yeah,
on people's
yeah.
breathing. Well,
And it's not necessarily hearing the person breathing, it's seeing their chest go up and down, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
There's lots of visual cues that we get from face to face, but look, online as well, you can pick up a lot of stuff. Um, you know, I remember when I first did all my training, it was micro skills and micro counseling and micro, not nuances, but something like that. And you just realized then, whenever you had a conversation with someone like me, I always say to people, I prefer to do my podcast with no video because, as you see, I play with my nose, I scratch my face. And it's all things that I just do. I can't stop my hands. Usually when I'm doing a live, I sit on my hands.
It's normal. Normally, I'm very much touching my nose or doing something, but I'm just trying not to as well.
And do you think it's like our nerves, or is it a habit? Because like when I'm at work during the day, I'm not going like this while I'm talking to people. But then when I get on here, I just start sort of stretching and
Well, maybe you just don't notice you're doing it during the day when you're.
I know, because yeah, actually we're seeing ourselves back, aren't we, as we're talking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're just being natural and normal. But on here, you know that people are looking at you as well, so you know that people are watching. So maybe you're just more self-conscious.
I think I am. Wow, what a good diagnosis. I'm glad I had you on today. Now I've been diagnosed and I know what I'm doing. I'm being more self-conscious. So what are some of the things that you've done in your counselling, or, you know, what are your plans for the future other than opening up your online thing? Tell us something that you've noticed while you've been counselling or working in this sort of industry.
That when you first begin working with clients, it's really hard for them to trust you and open up. But
Yeah.
I'd say give them time, give them space. Probably about 6 sessions in, then they start to trust you, and then they start to really, really open up and tell you what's going on for them. And it's just amazing how they open up and talk to you, and it's a privilege.
Yeah, look, I don't know what you learnt when you trained. We were told it was our laundry list. We had to sort of get them to go through this laundry list of, say, the 5 things that were important to them. And then you would guarantee that one of those things they'd said would have been one of the things that they were really there for. Because I know with counselling, a lot of times people come in and they talk a lot about other stuff first, almost fluffing it out until they get to the heart of what they're there for. Because, yeah, it's trust, it's understanding how the therapist is and what it's like to talk to someone. And also it's bloody hard just to, like, we haven't met before, but we're on here doing a chat. But for a client who's coming in who is wanting to talk about all the things that are going on in their life, it's the first meeting. They've got to get to know you. They want to see what you do. They want to ask you questions about yourself. And it's really hard for all of us to unmask ourselves and not just come in with the mask on like, oh, everything's not too bad. Because even when you're seeing a therapist and you're there to get some advice and help, you still find it hard to just unwrap yourself and go, this is me. What do I need to do?
And some people are not even comfortable talking about their thoughts, talking about their feelings. They're not, it's not something they're used to doing in life. So come to sit in front of someone, a complete stranger, And then opening up and talking about things like that, it's hard, isn't it?
Oh, really hard.
Really, really hard. So for them to open up and finally talk to you about what's going on for them and why they're in counselling, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's really good. And all those little light bulb moments that they have, I just have to say hello to one blue princess, because I know she was going to be watching Big Brother here in Australia tonight, and she's come on the live instead of watching Big Brother, which is pretty big for one blue princess.
I'm privileged.
You are, because she's missed a couple of weeks. But we've got
Yeah.
loads of people in here. So we had, with hardship comes ease UK, definitely prefer face-to-face.
That's my friend.
That's your friend. And
Right.
and Psych Cafe is here from America. You're up early, Psych Cafe. And yeah, we've got a few people here. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Blind Blue Princess. I can't remember your name. And we play, what's it called? We play Words for Friends together. Yeah. So the Coaching Alchemist has just joined. Is that someone you know too?
No.
Oh, whoops. I pressed the wrong button. I was supposed to do a heart and I pressed report. Don't want to report anyone.
Not really, no.
So what do you think the state of mental health is in the UK?
The stigma around it is terrible. People opening up, the support that's available is just really, really bad, because if anyone wants to reach out for talking therapies in the UK, they have to wait at least 20 weeks to even see somebody. So by the time you come around to seeing somebody, you might be okay. When you actually need the help, it's not even there.
Yeah, or you get yourself into such a position that by the time you actually do get the help, you're even worse than when you first contacted them.
Yeah.
I watched an episode of Panorama, I think it was 6 months to a year ago, talking about mental health in the UK. And I think it was about 3 months before you actually get to talk to someone in the NHS. And that's usually a mental health nurse. It's not a counsellor, psychologist or psychiatrist. And then they do like an intake. And then it could be between 12 and 18 months before you actually have a phone call that's CBT over the phone, and then you might meet a counsellor.
Then in the meantime, like you said, you get worse, and worst case scenario, you might even attempt suicide or try suicide or take your own life, you know?
Yeah. And look, I think you were right before when you, I've forgotten, I've lost it now. No, I lost what I was going to say. But yeah, waiting list in any country. I mean, here we're not as bad. But yeah, I was flabbergasted when I watched Panorama and saw how long the waiting lists were in the UK. And, you know, I guess to see someone privately in the UK is above most people's normal income.
Yeah, it's expensive. You're looking at minimum £50. And then people that are more specialised or have done more training, or you could looking at 70, 80 upwards. You don't know. It's just you can afford that each week.
And does the NHS pay anything towards that, or is that just out of your pocket?
No, they don't pay. No, they don't.
Because here in Australia, you can get a mental health plan which gives you 10 sessions a year with a psychologist or psychiatrist, and say it's $200, the government pay 160 of that, and you've got to pay the 40 out of pocket, which doesn't sound too bad. But there are still a lot of people who can't afford that $40. I would say pensioners, people with a disability, people on low incomes. You know, $40 is a couple of meals for your family. And you've got to think, do I go and get some help, or do I put food on the table for my kids?
Yeah, it's really, really hard, isn't it? And then you suffer even more, and then you end up in a worse position.
Yeah, because then you're not only anxious and depressed or stressed about how your life is going, you're also then down more money. And you might go, you know, also seeing a therapist. It might not be the first one you see, the second one. It might be the third or fourth one that you go and see, and you actually get a good bond together and you can start talking about things, because we're not all everybody's fit. I would imagine there's quite a few people out there who would go, Dan, I don't want to talk to you. That's all right, just go and watch my live. But, you know, there are other people who do want to come and talk to me.
Yeah.
So
Of course,
Leandra has
I mean,
said, the conditioning part of our lives is what makes things harder to open up about emotions. That's hopefully changing now. Rock Bottom Up said, hey to you both. Waiting lists are unreal. Yes, that's really sad. Could then be another 18 months before therapy then. People who already work in the NHS are struggling themselves, especially after the pandemic. Great
yeah.
point. Waiting lists are 2 to 3 years long after all the waiting lists for the referrals. That's from Rock Bottom Up. Yeah. So it's not easy, is it? Wherever you are in the world. I was speaking to someone in America and they said that to see a therapist, it's almost like a rich person's thing to do. And you have to go on like a waiting list at a council, and then they might be able to get you 1 or 2 sessions, emergency sessions. But once you've had those, then someone else has to go in place to get 1 or 2 sessions. And it's not like you can just go and have 10 sessions or 12 sessions, however many you need, because there's so many people who need it and can't afford it that they have to just give them out as they're needed.
That's not helpful at all, is it? How's that going to help someone 1 or 2 sessions and then wait again?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And they get that through their healthcare, don't they? Their insurance.
Yeah, so that's why some people in America just can't afford it, because they can't afford healthcare.
Yeah.
So I guess we're luckier in the UK with NHS. In Australia here, we have what's called Medicare, which is similar. And they do help us out on a lot of things. But it's still, out of pocket for people. I know my mum's a pensioner, but, she's not bad off. But all the different things she has to pay for now that she's a pensioner with Parkinson's, it does cost her a lot of money each month. And
Yeah.
she's still on a pension, so it's not like she's got her own money piled up in the bank that she can just take it out when she needs it. So, it's trying to work out what things you can do while you can still afford other things. One Blue Princess has said here, I see my psychologist once a month and she's so booked out, I just have to wait till she fits me in again. It's good that you've got a good psychologist, but also having to wait until she can fit you in. That's not great, is it? Hi to the life coach, Josh. Do you know the life coach, Josh?
I've spoken to him a couple of times, yeah.
Have you? Oh, wow. A small world. We're all getting to know each other.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Only by messages.
Okay. Yeah, no, he's good. He's done a couple of lives with me, a podcast with me. I like the way he thinks and what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, what do we talk about now? Roxy's getting impatient because she wants to go and have something to eat. Come and say hello. Come on.
My cat's running around as well in the background like a crazy cat.
There she is. So this is my therapy when I need therapy.
Yeah.
Look, up there.
And
Hi, Blixa. Yeah, look, I thought with COVID and what everybody went through, I was hoping that there would be a bigger shift towards more empathy and compassion for people with mental health issues, mental health problems, because people would see the stress that they were under themselves, and that would make it easier. Oh, hold on. Hey, dude, men's mental health. I think a lot of companies are burying their heads in the sand at the moment and not acknowledging that people are suffering with their mental health. I've asked for mental health champions. Okay, good. Hello to Blixa. Rock Bottom Up sending some hearts. And hello, Roxy, beautiful girl. What was I just saying then?
About COVID, and you'd hope.
Yeah, you would have thought that a lot of people suffered some anxiety while we were going through it. Depression, if not depression, a down mood because being locked up and stuff like that. And I thought we would have seen a big change. I guess we're waiting for governments, aren't we, to actually step in. And I saw your head then, and it's like they're not going to put more money in, are they? The waiting lists are so long, and they're just going to get longer and longer.
They always say these things, they're going to help with mental health and they're going to put more money into mental health resources and all this rubbish, but it never happens.
No.
And they put money into lots of other things, but mental health through COVID, everyone suffered, didn't they? Because we was all locked in our homes. We all couldn't go out. We couldn't see family. Christmas here in 2020, we wasn't allowed to mix with anybody. So it's affected everybody. So, and people are suffering in silence because of it, and they're not getting the help. It's sad.
An example of what happened here was, so this is different. This is assisted dying, what's called euthanasia. And it wasn't until the premier of our state, I think it was his mum or dad, died, and he saw how hard it was with them dying, that he then pushed for the euthanasia bill. And I think with politicians, if they're living with someone with a mental illness or they know someone, there's a lot more chance of them being empathetic towards what's going on and then looking at ways of putting more money in. And look, they are putting more money in now, but because mental health issues have now skyrocketed, to say it was 10,000 and now it's 100,000. So the amount they're putting in now is still the amount they would have put in for 20,000. So we've still got 80,000 people out there going, well, what about me? I need some mental health too.
And they're not getting the help. They're not likely to get the help either, are they?
No. Now, Leandra has just said there is a scheme in Denmark where people just meet in a cafe, strangers, and talk about what they're going through. It gives each other the chance to talk openly with a stranger rather than bottling up. Now, isn't that a brilliant idea?
Yeah.
And Psych Cafe has said people have become isolated and divided. I wish the whole world would participate in this scheme. That was from Leandra. Mental health is more important. It is. Look, mental health is in some ways more important than your physical health, because if we have bad mental health, then we start to get physical health. Because I was explaining to someone the other day, if you're suffering from anxiety and depression and you don't want to go out the house, well, for one, you might lose your job or you can't work. Also, you're not getting out and you're getting any vitamin D. You're sleeping more, so you become more lethargic, more tired. You don't exercise, so that then your endorphins aren't working because you're just laying on the couch watching TV or something like that. And it gets you further and further down, whereas not a lot, maybe half the people who have mental health issues, if they to see someone pretty much straight away, that can be worked on pretty quickly and changed around so that that person then doesn't have the physical health problems, doesn't have worse mental health problems.
Yeah. If the support's there from the offset, from the get-go, then there would be so much more weller people in the country, in the world, in the whole entire world, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
There would be, for mental health, imagine if we got the support immediately. Imagine how we would be as a nation.
I love the miracle question in psychology, where they say to you, what would your life be like if? And then you say something that you need to change. And when we look at it in those terms, I know it's a little bit magical and out there, but when we think about how we want our life to change, then we can start setting goals towards what we want that miracle question or answer to be. And, you know, there's a lot of things we do in psychology. And I mean, now meditation, going back 20 years ago, meditation was even looked as a bit out there for most mainstream people, whereas now meditation is looked on as quite normal. So if we were to practice some of those things, and I'm saying this, and I never practice meditation, I always think, oh, I'm going to do that on the weekend. I get to the weekend and I go, oh, I'm too busy, I can't meditate.
You can only do 5 minutes a day.
Do you meditate 5 minutes a day?
No.
No. So we're talking about mental health, and we're not even practicing what we're talking about.
I do try to meditate a couple of times a week, but I think it's that motivation and that thinking, oh, but I need to go and do this, I need to do that, and then you push it aside and you don't do it. It's like I really love doing yoga as well, and once I've done it and I'm doing it, I feel great afterwards. But it's just motivating myself to do it. It's that's what people lack, isn't it? The motivation to do things. And
what did I just say about before? If we look at the miracle question and then we set some little goals, that will motivate us to be meditators. Now, Leandra has just said meditation and mindfulness are one of the best ways to self-help. And look, I do mindfulness probably twice a week, only for a couple of minutes here and there. I'll just sit there and I'll go, okay, I'm just going to focus on me, and I'll just sit and listen to my breathing. But it's not as much as I need to do. You know, if I did a lot more, I'm sure I would feel a lot better. Well, look, no, I feel okay. But we need to be doing these things, don't we?
Yeah, we're very good at preaching what people should be doing, but when it comes down to it, and should be doing it ourselves. Oh, I just said that word, didn't I? Should.
Yeah.
Couldn't
And
say
should
that.
is a word that we need to ban, isn't it? We should. We just need to do. Someone I was talking to the other day for a podcast started talking to me about Yoda and saying some little Yoda words. And I was like, oh, wow, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, Yoda would say, you must not think, you must do, or something like that.
Yeah, should is a very bad word.
It is.
It's a natural part of our vocabulary, isn't it?
So what are two things that you would do each week, you think, that help you to relax?
My cats really help me to relax. I've got 3 cats.
Nice.
They make me smile. They bring me joy. I'm always posting them on my Instagram, aren't I?
Yeah.
And there's this really lovely park nearby me, and it's got deers, it's got forests, there's squirrels, there's birds. That really, if I'm feeling particularly low or sad or not very good, then I go for a walk over there.
Yeah.
Listen to the birds. That's really good. And watching crap TV as well. I love crap TV.
Yeah, look, I'm prone to that too. I watch a lot of rubbish reality shows, and people say to me, well, why do you watch them? And I go, because I don't really have to take much notice of it. It's on in the background while I'm doing something else, but it's good to escape, isn't it? And see someone else's life and go, oh my God, I'm glad that's not me.
Yeah, that escapism, yeah, and not worrying about anything, just getting engrossed in the TV.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Roxy, they're asking where you are. Psych Cafe has just asked where you are. I've got to wake her up now, Psych Cafe. What was your name, Psych Cafe? I know it, but I can't remember it. Here she is. Oh, ugh. There you go. This is what makes me happy every night, when I come home and see her.
Have you just got the one dog?
Yeah, look, I had 2 dogs. Oh, well, you're 6 now, aren't you? Probably, yeah, 6, 7 years ago. And one got cancer, and the other one had a back issue and couldn't walk anymore. Awful.
Oh,
So yeah, but
decline really quickly.
What's that?
She declined really quickly, the one with the back issue.
Yeah, it was over 3 days. One night she came in and there was like a crack while she was walking, and I went to pick her up, and then I thought, oh, I better take her to the vet, and got her to the vet, and they said she can't walk. They did an X-ray, and what's the other one? Not an MRI, but similar to that.
CT scan?
CT, yes. And they said, look, it's going to be between $12,000 and $28,000 to do an operation. What would you like us to do? She was 12 and a half at the time. It broke my heart, but I didn't have 12 to 28,000. And they said there's a 40% chance she'll be better, 40% she'll be worse, and 20% we don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I said then, I'm never having another dog. And after 6 months, I went and got Roxy. I just couldn't stand coming home and not having a dog.
Yeah.
And now she's biting me.
Yeah, she wants to play now.
I know. So for mental health, animals are the best thing, I think. They can really cheer you up and really help you through some hard times. I know with my other dog, Spooky, she was a white whippet. When my sister passed away, I couldn't have got through it without my dog, because she was just always there when I needed her.
They are. They're so amazing. I think they pick up on your feelings and your senses as well. They know when you're sad.
Well, look, with Roxy, I've never had a dog like this, but when I lay on the couch watching TV, she lays sort of on my arm. And if I feel sick, she actually lays across my chest.
Oh.
Yeah. So what's 2 positive things you do each week? Meditation, we know that.
I love cooking.
Good. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I find that therapeutic as well, cooking. Mindfully cooking.
Well, Leandra on here from LJV Coaching, we spoke about this, I think it was last week or the week before, and she said that the best thing about cooking is it is mindfulness. You're experiencing all the senses of smell, taste, focus. It's just amazing to do cooking.
It's
amazing. There's so many things that you can do that are mindful that we don't actually think are mindful until you actually sit down and think about them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Cooking for me just takes me away from everything, and I like creating. I like trying and perfecting the recipes, and I'm a great cook, even if I say so myself.
That's the best way, isn't it? When you really think you're the best, you are the best.
I am. I am.
You
Another
are.
thing.
I'm not doubting you. Have you ever watched, and I talk about this quite a lot, have you ever watched the YouTube video, How to Mindfully Eat a Sultana?
No.
You need to go and have a look at that, because it's quite bizarre, but it's also quite entertaining and quite powerful. But
Yeah.
if you want to hear noises like, that's how they eat it. But it's to show you that, you know, you don't have to rush your food. You should experience all the different things, smell, taste. Leandra's just jumped in and said, cooking, baking, I love lots indeed. And well done, Karen, saying you're a great cook. I love that. And one blue princess, who was Belinda, says that's great. Love heart, love heart.
And actually, I eat really slowly. I chew
Do
about
you?
1,000 times. Yeah. I'm the last one to finish my plate of food, whoever I'm with.
I'm
It
usually
really
the first. Because I'm too busy wondering what I've got to do next, and I'm not mindfully eating. I'm just like, quick, I've got to eat because I've got to do another podcast. Yeah, like that. Someone said to me once that they just smash some avocado in their face because they're so hungry and they need to eat quickly. I don't know if that's true.
No, I just need to chew and chew and chew and chew. And then by the time it comes to the end of my dinner, my food's cold anyway.
Okay. So you gave us one positive thing, cooking. What's your other one?
Gardening. I love gardening.
Gardening, yeah.
I've got a small garden. I wish I had a massive garden, but I've only got a small garden, but I love gardening. That I could spend hours and hours and hours gardening.
Yeah, look, I used to garden a lot, and I used to grow lots of different fruits and vegetables. And then I found one summer that everything bloomed at the same time. My tomatoes, my beans, snow peas, spinach, and I had to give half of it away because I didn't have enough room to store it all. And it would have all been not good after a week or two. So then I just thought, why am I spending all this time making all these lovely vegetables when I'm giving them all away for free?
Yeah, but that's nice, giving them away, isn't it, for free?
It sort of is, yeah. And I grew all this spinach because I was juicing at the time. And I thought, look, I'm going to leave them out for one more night. They were massive. They huge pieces of spinach like this. And the next morning I got up. You don't have them there. Maybe it's the same as a squirrel. But we have possums here, and they came down and ate the whole lot. So I didn't do spinach anymore after that. I didn't do any gardening.
Pointed.
Yeah. And where's your favourite destination in the world you would like to travel to?
I've been to quite a few places. I went travelling for a year when I was 20 something. How old was I? I don't know, 24 maybe.
So last year.
Last year.
No, 2 years ago, because we couldn't travel for 2 years.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So you've been most places you want to go?
I've been to Australia. I went there for 6 months with my other half. We backpacked around for 6 months, staying in dingy, horrible hostels. That was an experience. I'd love to go to New Zealand.
Did you come down as far as Melbourne?
Yeah, I've got a friend in Melbourne, so we stayed with her for a few weeks. Went to the Great Ocean Road.
Nice.
Lovely. We went all around Australia.
Wow.
So it was amazing. Went to Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam. I love Thailand. I've been there about 20 times.
Wow.
My father-in-law lives there, so.
Oh, I've never been there. It's somewhere I've always wanted to go to, but no, I've just never got there. I liked Singapore.
Yeah.
And I love, like, when I was younger, I'd come to England probably every second or third year. But I haven't been back there since I don't even know how old I was then, about 35. Haven't been there since then.
Mm.
So that's 15 years. But yeah, I used to love going there, and Paris, Belgium, all those places. So much history. And, you know, I grew up in England, went till I was 11 in Portsmouth. But yeah, I still love it. But now I love living here in Australia.
Yeah, it's a beautiful country. It's
Yeah,
lovely.
it's fantastic.
People are nice. The beaches are nice. The nature's nice. And you don't actually see that many spiders, considering people rave, oh, the spiders, the spiders.
Well, I mean, look, I've been here 38 years now. I mean, I've seen a lot of spiders, and yeah, you know, I wouldn't want to see many huntsmen. You've seen the huntsman, aren't you? About that big. And we've tried all different ways. A friend of mine catches them and puts them outside. Once I was told that you just spray them with hairspray and they freeze, and I did that, and it dropped on the floor and chased me, and that didn't work.
I can just imagine you running away.
Oh yeah, and I mean it's not running very fast, but I don't know where it's going. But yeah, I've had them in the house, and they frighten me to death. And the redbacks, you know, they actually look quite nice because they're a little black spider with a bright red sort of zigzag on their back. But if they bite you, you've got to go to hospital and get anti-venom.
You're in trouble.
And also, Blixer Girl has just said, and being on Neighbours, I think she's talking about when I was on there years ago, just as an extra. I was the barman in Cheryl's bar.
Oh.
Do you still watch it?
Not really, no. I used to watch it every day when I was younger, and Home and Away.
Yeah. Well, it's coming to an end now as it finishes August 1st.
Yeah. Are you sad about that?
Oh, look, I haven't watched it in years, but I actually thought I might watch the last week because they've got so many of the old stars. Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan are coming back. There's so many people who are coming back for that last week, so I think I might watch it just to see what it's like.
Yeah. You've got to, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh, Blixer Girl said it went downhill because I left. Well, that was 28 years ago, so I think it's taken a long time to go downhill.
So how did you manage to get in Neighbours then?
Look, I got an agent and I wanted to do extra work, and they called me up and I did a couple of episodes in the cafe, and then they were looking for a barman, so they said, do you want to be the barman for a couple of weeks? So I was, and then I ended up staying, I think I was there 18 months in the end. Every week I'd just go in and be the non-speaking barman in the background, but it was good. We went to lots of neighbours' parties. I got to sit in the green room with the main actors, not with the extras. Yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, sounds good fun.
Oh yeah, and Blixer Girl, I'm going to give your real name out in a minute. I lived with her for a little while, her and her partner, and we went on a show called Battle of the Sexes. So yeah, I was on quite a lot of TV back in the day. A few movies, little extra parts in it. Yeah, it's good fun. So I did loads of stuff before this. I used to do radio. I had a record business, record mail order business. I had a fashion label when I was about 25, 26. I've done loads of things.
Yeah, sounds like it. Jack of all trades.
Master of none.
Oh, don't say that.
But I'm a master of this. I love mental health. I love disability. And that's what I do. I work in disability. I do mental health podcasts. And it's all about helping other people understand what's going on and why it's important to support each other.
There's nothing like it, is there? Helping someone else and being there for someone and a listening ear and supporting them. And it's just amazing. So rewarding. I love it.
Yeah. And look, you know, those light bulb moments when they actually get what you're talking about, or you're talking about something and then they start thinking and then they go, oh, actually, I'm going to do this. And you think, oh, that's exactly what I wanted you to do, but I didn't want to tell you how to do it. Leandris just says, was great to listen in and watch today. I'm away off now to my next appointment. Have a lovely rest of the day and night. Okay. Oh. And Lauren says, awesome. Lauren C8. No, Lauren C8?
No. Don't think so.
Well, these are all people that are finding you and me and listening in and seeing what's good. And, you know, if you ever want to come on a live, people who are listening, then just send me a message and we'll see what we can discuss. Like Karen here. Karen and I became friends about, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, talking about different things around mental health.
Yeah. And this is my first live.
Yeah. First live ever.
I'm a live virgin, or I was a live virgin.
And it's not so bad, is it? It's not that hard. It's not that bad. It's quite good.
It's not
Can
so
you
bad.
see all the comments on your side as they're coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I can, yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go.
The Healing Harbour joined. These must be people who follow you, because I haven't seen any of these names before.
Recovering with Emily, yeah. I speak to Emily. The Healing Harbour, yeah, they're on my Insta as well.
Yeah. So there you go. So what we'll do as well is when we finish this Insta, I will put it up in my videos and I will tag you as a collaborator. And then if you want to accept that, then it will go up on yours as well. And then people can come back and watch it, or watch it off yours, watch it off mine.
Yeah.
And it also goes up on YouTube as well tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we get maximum people watching and seeing what we're talking about.
Yeah. Amazing.
It's good, isn't it?
It will be my first of many.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you need to start doing some now, don't you?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Step out of my comfort zone.
Well, look, when I first started doing these 2-3 years ago, I did quite a few on my own. Didn't like it. Don't like sitting here looking at my picture, talking to myself. But then when you have guests on, and there are lots of people who want to come on and talk about mental health, you know, it's a lot easier because we can get some banter going, talk about different things that are happening, and it's just a lot more fun. And the people who are watching and commenting, you know, they're getting some free entertainment on a Wednesday.
Wednesday evening for you, morning for me.
Wednesday evening. 8:45 here in Australia.
11:45, nearly lunchtime.
So have you got a busy day today with clients and stuff?
No, not today. I'm going to meet my mum afterwards. We're going for lunch.
Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Like I said, I'm on a break from, I work at a hospice. As a brief. Yeah. I've been on a break from there for a few months.
Yeah.
I haven't been seeing clients for the last few months, but I want to get back into it now.
Yeah. I mean, look, I applaud you because working with grief, I know when I was studying my Bachelor of Counselling, I started doing grief, and actually I got sick at the time, so I had to pull out. But I found it really hard because of the case studies you had to read, and they don't make them easy. They're all about probably the worst scenarios you can think of where people are coming to see you about grief. And they were draining. The same with when I did the module on domestic violence. Reading those case studies, look, some are true, some aren't, but having to wade your way through that and then analyze it and put what you would do is quite draining. You know, even it's only a 3,000 word essay, but while you're reading 10 different what are they called again, 10 case studies, and then trying to put it all together, it's quite stressful. It
is heavy work. And it also depends on the relationship the person had with the person that's died. So much comes into it. It's not just all about grief.
No.
When you're working with someone that's lost someone. No.
Yeah, and I guess that someone who's lost someone with grief, there's a lot of guilt on their part as well. Did they do enough? Were they supportive enough?
Yeah. So many regrets, so many what ifs, maybes, if only, you know. So much, but it's too late, isn't it?
Yeah. Look,
eats them up.
Yeah, you can't do anything. I mean, I mean, people on here know that my housemate has got cancer at the moment, and it's now terminal. And we don't know how long he's got left. Some days he's really sick, and other days he's getting a bit better. But we know there's an end date in sight. So it becomes, you know, some days you're feeling up because he's feeling okay. The next day he's feeling really down, and then his family are here and friends of ours are here, and then I'm at work, and you know, and it's constant because you're wondering what's going to happen. How do you help someone else dealing with this? How do I help him who's dealing with it? It's you know, there is a lot there. And I just say to people, you know, if you know someone's really not well, you need to see them or at least speak to them as often as you can, because you won't get that opportunity again. Once it's done, it's done.
Yeah, it's so true, that is.
Yeah.
I had a couple of years ago that he was only 50 and he got cancer.
Yeah.
Spread all throughout his body. And I just kept in touch with him all the time and was there for him all the time, visited him, saw him. And then the last time I saw him, I just knew that I probably wasn't going to see him again, because cancer got hold of him and he just didn't look like the person that he was, you know. It's so sad to see them deteriorate right in front of your eyes. It's really, really sad. So, you be there for them. But some people find it difficult, don't they, when someone's terminally ill like that, to be with them, sit with them. They don't know what to do and it's hard for them. And then if they don't, they're going to regret it afterwards.
Look, I know when my sister was really ill before she died, my parents would go and visit her, but my mum would do stuff in the kitchen and my dad would do stuff in the garden. And my sister would say to me, I wish they'd just come in and sit down and talk to me. And they would say to me, I wish we could just go in and sit down and talk to her. And I said, you guys have just got to work this out, because you're both wanting the same thing, but you're not telling each other what you want. And when it's done, it's done. There's no coming back and saying, I wish I'd gone in and spoken. So then after that, they did start talking more and openly, because, you know, for the person who's going through that as well, they need to verbalize what's happening to them, what their fears are, how they're feeling. And I know there's counsellors and all that who can help them, but sometimes it's good to talk to your family or friends and say, look, I feel really shit. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I know I haven't got long left. Give me a hug. Tell me what you think, you know, because they're trying to process their whole life they've been through and it's coming to an end.
Yeah. And imagine being that person that's terminally ill and's going to die. How hard it must be for them and what they're thinking and feeling. And then they're probably trying to be strong for the family as well. Don't want to upset them. But what about what they're going through?
Exactly. And also how they're trying to, what was I going to say? Yeah, they're also worried about what their families are going to be like when they're gone. And I said to my housemate the other day, you can't worry about that, because they will get on with what they have to get on with, how they get on with it, and whatever happens. But you just need to focus on you at the moment, because it's about what's happening to you.
Yeah, take each day as it comes and deal with it that day and worry about himself.
And I think it's also important for people who are in that position, for someone to say to them, it's okay if you want to give up, because there's so many of them out there that are pushing for family, for friends, because that's what they feel they need to do. But there must come a time when you just go, I can't do this anymore. And that's okay, that they know that that's okay to say, I've had enough. And not to worry about whatever anyone else thinks or says, because it's about you now. And it's the time really to be selfish, isn't it? And to go, well, I need to think about what I need, to what I want, to what's going on for me. And even though I'm sad about everything else, it has to be about me now.
But it's interesting you say time for them to be selfish. Well, it's not selfish though, is it?
Not really.
Put themselves and because they're the one that's going through it. They're the one that's suffering. They're the one that's in pain. So what about them? I don't think it's selfish to put themselves first.
No, maybe I'm thinking of it as they might feel they're selfish. I mean, I wouldn't think they were selfish. I think if you're in that predicament, then whatever you do is good by anybody and should be okay. But look, I don't know. I said to my housemate, I can only talk to you how I know as a counsellor and understand how your family are going through this, because I've been through it losing my sister. But I have no idea how you're feeling going through this, because I've never been told I'm not going to be here anymore, you know, and you have been. So for you, it's almost you've got a time limit now. Whereas I might drop dead tomorrow. I might drop dead in 30 years. We don't know. But when you're given a specific time of when it's going to happen, that's when you have to start working through these issues, isn't it? And get everything finalised.
Yeah, put yourself first. See the people that you want to see. Try and do the things that you want to do if you can do them things, like a bucket list, I suppose.
Yeah. All right. Well, we said bucket list. What would be on your bucket list? 3 things that you have to do before you die.
Skydive.
Yeah. Good on you.
Learn and love a language, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh dear, another one. Take an ice bath.
An ice bath? My God, you're crazy. Skydiving, ice bath, and what was the other one?
Learn
a language.
Learn and love a language.
God, well, 2 things that are death-defying, and 1 thing that's going to really screw your mind, trying to learn another language.
Yeah, it could be a make-believe language.
Oh, it could be, yeah, or it could be Yoda talk.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know what I'd have on a bucket list. I just don't know what I'd like to do. God, maybe go to England one more time if I only had enough time to do certain things. Go back and visit all the family over there. My favourite show in the world is EastEnders. So maybe try and get a small role on that, even if I was just a barman on that in the background serving someone a drink. I would love to do that.
EastEnders.
I love it. And get back into doing some painting, I think. I like painting. I like doing art. But look, with fibromyalgia, it makes my hands hurt too much. So if I paint for more than about 40 minutes, my hands will become stiff and I can't do it.
Yeah.
Whereas I used to paint for hours and hours.
Mm. So in your office where you work, all them pictures behind you, they're what all the people that come in there have done, aren't they? Not what you've done.
Yeah. One of mine is, I'll see if I can. You see that one up there?
Wow.
That's one of mine.
That's really good.
I can't really get it up any high like that. Yeah, so it's geometric, I guess. What else?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, there's another one up there in that corner. Can you see that one?
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, so they're mainly just brightly coloured things with, what do you call it, acrylics. I like really bright popping colours.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I haven't painted since my sister passed away when I was 37. When she died, I painted heaps of stuff because I just needed to get out of my head.
Yeah.
So that's what I spent my time doing.
That was your time for you to escape your...
I would stay up on the weekend all night painting and then sleep during the day and then be up the next night listening to music and just painting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a good thing. I mean, I really loved it at the time. I guess if I really thought about it, there would be lots of things I'd want to do, you know, on a bucket list. But to be honest, I'm very content with what I've got at the moment. So I don't usually ever think about other things I want to do.
I don't think you've got time anyway, have you?
Not really. I wish I had time, yeah.
Yeah, you're so busy.
Yeah. Well, look, this week I've already recorded 2 podcasts. This live tonight, and I've got another live on Saturday, I think, and then I've got another 2 podcasts to record on Monday. Plus, I'm working full time, so.
And looking after your housemate, and looking after your mum,
and looking after my mum,
and so much going on for you.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Look, I like it. It's good to be busy.
Good to be busy, yeah.
Especially with fibromyalgia, because so many people just give up and just go, oh, well, I can't do that anymore because I've got fibromyalgia. And I know that when I have 2 or 3 days off, I'll have pain everywhere. I'll be tired. If I keep pushing it, I'm almost pushing it out of the way, and I don't get those things.
Yeah. So it's best to keep busy and keep moving your body.
Yeah.
That's what works for you.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Do you get a day off? Do you ever have a day off?
Do I get a day off? Yeah. Last weekend I had Saturday off, but I recorded a podcast, went and did some stuff for my mum, came back here and did some stuff for my housemate. Then I had Sunday morning off, but I put the podcast out and did the promotion for that. Sunday afternoon, I went and did some stuff for my mum, then back to work Monday. So I'm working right through till Saturday afternoon. I finish at 5, and then I've got Sunday off and then a full week.
So where does self-care fit in there for you?
That's why I need to do some meditation, isn't it? To get my head back into the game.
Yeah. Please try.
Yeah, I will do.
We both.
It's been lovely speaking to you, Karen, from KG Counselling. Wasn't so bad, was it?
No, it was absolutely fine. Thank you.
All right, it was great to have you on and great to meet you and have a chat with you. And I'm sure that the people who are watching have enjoyed listening to you and listening to us talk about grief and mental health. And I don't know if you can see all these hearts going up and down. Well, not down, they just go up. But there's loads of hearts going up all the time. Lots of comments. Lots of people have been interested, given loads of great comments. Thank you, everybody, for taking part and listening and giving comments. Even if it's just saying thank you for what we're doing, it's great. I'm here at life_changes_you_podcast. You can listen to the podcast on Apple and Spotify. Same name, Life Changes You. I'm on YouTube, Spotify. Well, I just said Spotify. But go and listen to the podcast. There's heaps and heaps of different people I've spoken to over the last few months, and I would love to have your feedback for those. Follow KG Counselling at _KG_counselling. Is that correct?
Yeah, think so.
Yeah, on here, and you'll see some of her updates. She's got great updates. I'm sure you will like those. And thank you, One Blue Princess, who is Belinda. I've got to put that to my head. Who really enjoyed it. So thank you, Karen.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to meet you. And I shall see you and catch up with you soon.
Yeah, take care. Get some self-care.
Bye-bye. Oh, I will. I'm going to do self-care now. Bye-bye.